Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I am going to be putting together the signatures for my mini mushroom journals. I have done some sewing around the edges of all of the journals, so I have all of the sewing done. I still need to put the end pages in. I think I have found some papers that I want to use to glue in the front and back cover. So I have that selected. But I was going through my papers and I thought I would turn the camera on and just kind of walk through a little tips and things like that with my signature papers. So I went through my stash and I love using old book pages. So here I have some shorthand book pages that I'm going to use, and I was looking for book pages that are kind of roughly the same size as these mini journals, and then thought those would be good options. I also had this children's kind of dictionary book page, and so they were the right size this way, but they were a little too tall, so I could have just trimmed that off, but I folded it up because then that could potentially become a pocket, or we can cut that off at a later date. I also have some of my coffee dyed paper that I just cut in half. They were 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. And then here I have some old just book pages. They have a bunch of different animal pictures and map pages in here, and I thought these would be fun. Look at that pretty butterfly. Those would be fun to add some pretty color. And then I also embossed some envelopes. I had this mushroom embossing folder, and then I did some peeled paint spritz, just distress spritz, and we're going to put that in there. And then I have some ledger paper from 1902, and then I also had this form, just an old insurance form, and so I thought these would be fun pages to add. And I don't really overthink the order that I put the pages in. The one thing that I do try to think about is I try not to put two plain pages together if I can help it. Sometimes, you can't always help that if that is your only option. But if you can avoid that, then that's always a good thing to do. So I think this pattern that I have right here gives for a nice signature. You have some interest as you flip through the pages, and then we can add some pockets later and add some other fun little things. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good signature, and it fits in here pretty nicely. And if I need to trim anything down, so I might trim the top of that down so it's not sticking out. Another tip that I wanted to point out is with some older book pages, some of them can be a little brittle, and so you can add some washi tape to them, and that just gives them a little extra strength, so that when you go to sew it in, you won't have any issues with it. It won't come apart. So I'm just going to go through and build these signatures up, and then I'll be back with you to do the next step. The next step that I'm going to work on is putting the end sheets, or the inside front and back cover, in all of these journals. So I've gone through my stash and I pulled out, these are some 6x6 Krafter's Companion papers, and I think those will work nice. But then one of you viewers, I apologize, I don't remember who, when I did my 2025 Michael's paper pad haul, had also pointed out that these plain sheets and the paper pads also make really good end sheets. So let me show you kind of how I go about doing it. And I'll do one on camera, and then I'll do all the rest of them off camera. I'll do one with the 6x6 and then one with the larger paper pad. So for the 6x6 paper pad, it's pretty easy. And I don't do any exact science or anything measuring. I will eyeball it. So I'll make sure that my paper is not up on the fold on the spine. I make sure it's a little bit to the side of it. And then I will mark over here how far I want the paper to come out. So I think that looks pretty good right there. And then I want to measure the height. And then I think I am gonna have the height be right about there. And so I'll do the same thing for both. So I'll need 2 sheets. So I'll do this one as well. Mark that. And then we'll mark this one right here. Okay, let me get my paper trimmer. You could also use fabric for the inside cover. Lots of different options there. I'm going to cut this. If you're looking for a new trimmer, this is the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios. I forget the exact name of it, but the blades are replaceable, and it also comes with a score blade. So if you're new and looking for a new trimmer, I find it works pretty well. And then we have these. I think this will look lovely in here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then I am going to use, I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue. You could just use your reptile glue or whatever glue you have. Any type of glue will work. And the only kind of downside to using the Krafter Companion paper is it's double-sided. But I'm okay with that. I like spreading the glue out. I think it gives it a nicer coverage. And then again, I just want to make sure that's not right on the spine there. And then I really want to push it down on the fabric. And then I'll use an old credit card or shopper's card to help put that down. Make sure it has a good adhesion. There we go. All right. And this little finger saver is from Dollar Tree. Helps my fingers from getting too goopy and helps spread the glue out very quickly. And that looks great. And then I like with the washi tape down the middle, there's a little bit of color there. And if you wanted to put more washi tape over now that you have the sides down, you can do that as well. And then if you want to add a closure, you can punch a hole and add an eyelet at this point. And if you wanted to add a tie closure, you would want to add that before you put these papers down so that they would be glued down with this paper. Another thing you could do is sew around these papers before you glue them down to give them another detail. But I'm not going to do that on these particular ones. All right, so let me grab another one here and show you with the bigger piece of paper. I'm trying to decide if I want to use the blue. Yeah, I think I'll use this blue. And with the bigger 12 by 12 piece of paper, since these are about 6 inches tall, you should be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're about 4.5 inches wide. You should be able to get 4 out of one sheet of paper for this. And again, I'm just going to use my pencil. And kind of mark where I want it. See, there's the middle there. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And then height-wise, and see, I move this over so that I can get a better gauge of the height. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. So then now I can cut this one here, and I'll have my 2 pieces. So I have my width mark up here at the top, up here. And then here is my first height pencil mark. And then my second one is right here. And save your scraps. We can make some pockets out of those or some side tucks. Okay, so that looks... Yep, that looks good right there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll glue these down, and I'll be right back. You can see here that this is a single-sided piece of paper. So these are great to use as your end papers. That was a great suggestion one of my viewers made. So thank you for doing that, making that suggestion. Line that up as straight as I can. Looks pretty good. And then just push this down. That is so cute. And so I am going to do the same thing for all the other journals that I have in this collection. And we'll be back for the next step. The next step I'm going to show you is adding an eyelet on the back page here so that we can add a tie closure for around this journal. And you can either eyeball it, or if you want, you can measure. I'm going to go ahead and measure and try to get the center here. So like I said, we're at just about 6 inches tall. So I am going to put it like right about here. Yeah, that's right about 3 inches. And I'm going to use my big bite. And I have this on the 3/16 hole. So you can see when I push right there, that's the hole that it'll punch. Because I'm pretty sure these are 3/16. Yeah. The hole is dependent on the size of your eyelet. And I'm using a little bit bigger eyelet. And then let me get down here and line up my pencil mark. There we go. And I have a little bit of fabric here I'm going to trim off so that it'll be nice and neat. And then you want to put the eyelet on the outside because you want to have the pretty finished look on the outside. All right, that looks very nice. And then to use the crimper on this, you have to slide this forward all the way to the front, and that's what then will now activate this crimper part. And I have this on, it's on the silver setting, and it's letter D, it looks like. And I can't tell the number down here, but it's the other silver one. And then I am gonna just line this up. And I put it on the hole and then push it down and crimp. And there we have a nice flush closure right there. So I will do the same on all the other journals. And then we'll come back for the next step, which will be sewing the signature in. I am ready to sew the signatures into these cute little journals. I did want to do a quick little update on the journal pages. I did add an additional page in here. I added this vintage mushroom page. So that I went ahead and made that the center of the signature because I just think that is super cute. So when we're sewing in signatures, you first want to make sure that you're putting it in right side up. And doing a single signature is the easiest to do because you're just having to poke holes one time into your cover. And then I use these large paper clips. I got these, I think, at Hobby Lobby. You can also get them on Amazon. So lots of places. So on a small journal, I just use 2. But on a larger journal, I'll put 4 of them on there just to hold the papers all secure. Because, you know, you can hold it yourself, but it's you know, I'm always about trying to make things easier for myself. So with the paper clips, then that's one less thing I have to worry about is keeping the papers all straight and secure. And then I just pull out, this is an old book. You can see I've been using it for a long time. And I have my awl here. This is my dad's, so I love using it. And then I'm going to poke a hole in the middle. And then I poke a hole down the bottom. And then one at the top. And I'm just making sure I get all of the pages, or at least 2 holes get each page. And then I just put it inside the book so I have a nice V shape. And that way I have a better chance of getting the hole right there on the spine. And then you'll grab whatever type of yarn or thread that you want to use to sew your signature. And I have some embroidery floss, and then I have a embroidery needle, and it's probably like a medium-sized hole. You could use a bigger one if you need, but you know, the bigger one, it'll kind of make a bigger hole in your spine. So just keep that in mind. And then I start in the middle. And when you're putting all your pages together, you want to align them so that they are equidistant between the top and the bottom of the cover. And then as you align all the pages within the signature, you just want to make sure that they're aligned in a way that you're happy with. Like some of the skinnier pages, if you want them near the top or near the bottom or in the middle, you know, just make that call there. And then, so I started through the middle, I went in, started inside and came out. And then you can either go to the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. And then you're gonna go all the way to the other end and go back out the other hole. So now you've gone through each hole. Now it's time to go back through the middle. And I just kind of poke that through so I can see it a little bit better. And then you want to make sure that you don't thread the other thread that's already there with your needle. Because if you split the thread, then you won't be able to get a good knot. And it looks like I did thread it. So let's see if I can fix that. So I'm just going to pop this through. And I'm going to hold this kind of to the side there. And we'll try that again. There, I think we got it good that time. Perfect. So yeah, so if you split the thread, just pull it back out and try again. And I'm going to trim this off a little bit. The length of the string, I forgot to point out, is usually 3 times the height of your journal. And so that's what this is here. And then you want to make sure that you put a thread on each side of the center thread there. And I go ahead and I take these off. I used to leave them on, but I find I get a better knot with the pages kind of loose. And then you want to make sure that's tight, but not too tight. You don't want it bulking, bending your pages or bending the cover. And then I'll just do left over right, then right over left. And then I always just do one more just because. And then you have your signature sewn in. And you can do a little flip through, make sure everything looks good. I think this is just really cute. I love how this has come out. And all the other little decorations that are coming along with the kit. It's going to be fun to decorate these. Perfect. That looks good. All right, let me finish the rest of the journals, and then we'll come back and we'll add some, we'll find some sort of ribbon or thread or something for the closure. So I'll keep going and we'll be back. All right, I looked through my stash and I found these trims here. I can't remember where I got these. I'm thinking maybe Hobby Lobby, but I thought these colors worked well with the covers. So I thought I'd do one in each color. Just so you can see what it looks like. And I just use my scissors to kind of poke that through and then pull it through there. And it comes apart a little bit, but I think that's okay. There we go. Because once you pull it tight, you don't even see that part. So then, I went from the outside in. You can do it however you want, or you can just put one string through the hole and then tie a knot. But I kind of like this. It lays flat, and then I just wrap it around the front, and then you can tuck it under a couple times. I've done seam binding on several of the most recent journals, and I just thought I wanted to do something a little different, and I really like this. And I think what I'm going to do is find some wooden beads and see if I can get some wooden beads onto here. 2 reasons. One, just because it'll look cute, but 2, I'm worried that these might fray, so I'm going to try that. So let me show you one with the navy. And these are about, I cut these 36 inches long. And you could probably go a little bit shorter because there's still a little bit hanging. You could maybe go to 32 inches and it probably would still work. So I had also a lighter blue color. So I did a couple in the lighter blue and then this darker blue. And I can't decide which one I like. I kind of like both of them. I like how this kind of fades into the cover. But then I also like how this one kind of pops. And then I didn't have enough of all the same type of stuff, so I also have this color, which I think is really pretty as well. And then I did have a couple kind of velvety trims, and so I used velvety trims on a couple of them. But I think these are looking amazing. Like, this fabric is just stunning. I love this fabric so much. It's so pretty. I love all the different little mushrooms on there and all the other little decorations. And then I think what's cool about this paper is they have a paper pad, or they have die cuts at Hobby Lobby that have these same images. So you could get those die cuts and then decorate your pages with those die cuts as well. So I think that's really neat. And then this fabric, it's just adorable. I just love the yellow. The pop of yellow is really cool. So both of them, I think, are turning out really, really good. I'm very pleased with them. Let me see if I can find some wooden beads that might be able to go on these. All right, I found some wood beads that I think are going to work. I was looking for some ones that had a fairly decent hole size so that I could get the string through them. And then I am using this needle here to kind of help get the string through. So I'm kind of putting the string through the eye of the needle, and then I'm putting the bead through the needle, and then that helps get the bead onto there. Look how cute. And so I'll trim off the extra, but that is just so cute. I love that. So you can wrap that around one more time. Like that. That is so cute. I love that. So I'm just going to go and add beads onto all of these. And the other last thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of lace along the spine. So I will put a little bit of lace along the spine of each of these. And that'll just give it one final little touch. Okay, I think I am finally done with these. I've decided to not put the lace on the spine because I don't think it needs it. I think it kind of takes away from it. So all of these that have the string binding or the string wrap closure, I have added beads to them. And I think these have turned out so cute. So it's going to be a lot of fun decorating these with my patrons. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope this inspires you to get into your craft room and do some creating. And thank you all so much for joining me and coming along with this series. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you think these turned out. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.